Hello and welcome to another episode of Making Diablo Clone in Lisp. So today I think I'm going to be making the item pickup action, which will be I think the last one of the actions, of the initial actions I will be implementing. So yeah, I think in terms of completeness, the action system is more or less done. Of course, there will be some optimizations and of course documenting, but then again, yeah, to be really sure that well, the API and the action system itself is just like what I want it to be, I want to implement that item pickup. So, alright, first of all, I think I'm going to tweak initial game objects a bit. So when I started, there is some mob, and then the player, and the mob of course attacks the player. So I think I'm going to just comment that mob and instead add some item, just like laying on the floor, so I can test it every time. So that would be what that would be. That would be item with the. Okay, so what are my parameters for item component? Let's see. Alright, yeah, I've put a bunch of to-dos here, and yeah, I think I'm going to pick up where I left off last week. Right, so where is my component? Yeah, here's my component with weird indentation for some reason. Oh yeah, I think I want to start my screen key application. Alright. So, I have only type as a keyword. Alright, so item of type, let's say health potion, or I don't know. What do I have here as an options? Dagger, so no, that's the weapons, and where is my potion? Health potion, yeah. So I think I'm going to have the health potion here, lying on the ground, and yeah, of course with some position. So coordinate, let's have it a bit further, for instance something like 5, 5, I don't know, let's see where it resides. So yeah, I think that's it. So let's see if that works. Right, the long loading time as always. I think I'm going to add the loading screen the next time. Yeah, here it is. So I think, yeah, that's perfect. Hello, hi man, how are you doing? So yeah, that's the perfect distance. I can test my tracking. Yeah, and I think I've commented out item picking up code already. So yeah, I would have to re-implement that. Alright. So let's see. Create sparse matrix, but for items. Make it the connection to the system. Click on highlight an item, highlight an item. Okay, so highlighting an item would be probably a bit of a kill for now. So I'm going to start by just, well, start small. And just implement some very basic things. Start, yeah, okay. Right, so first of all I think I need to examine that code that I already have. So I've implemented an action, item pickup, target and track action, target entity and track action. Okay, that makes sense. I'm going to check that out with combat system, because this action would be kind of similar to attack action, because, well, to pick up an item you first have to go to where this item lays on the ground. And the same is for attack. First, to attack someone, first you have to come to that well, person or creature. So yeah, I have the action swing, and as a matter of fact, I don't have the track in action here yet, because I have track in actions as the children, because I have now a child slot for every action. Alright, so I don't need it here, and then, yeah, okay, maximum distance, blah blah blah. So yeah, initialize action. That would be similar to this one. Entity with swing action, here with, no, not swing, with item pickup, I think. I can pick up action, and then with combat. Quickly scan your code, seems a little bit. Yeah, okay, thanks. Well, I mean, it's not very functional. I have to write more code. And well, to refactor it. And I'm almost finished with that actions refactoring. Alright, except well, don't know what those accessors methods. What of those accessors methods? Oh yeah, those. I mean, you mean those fields of def action? I mean, this is a very tricky macro, and those fields are. And so maybe I do want sometimes to replace them with slot value. No, those. I mean, those fields, like for instance target, those are not even close to slots. Actually, they are fields of structure, and this macro actually is a terribly large macro, which basically calls this def SOA macro, which in turn just defines a structure. So well, actually that's the structure of an arrays, but still. And so I have an accessors for those fields, for those arrays of a structure, which are, well, quite fast because they're inlined and shit. So yeah, that's quite a system I got here. I'm not using the close objects very much. Well, I do in some places, but not in those. Alright, so item system. So I'm setting the track action, right, and I don't even need that, because if I'm setting the parent as this action, it will automatically have that one, yeah. It will automatically have that as the child, yeah. Alright, then target, right, where do I get target? I'm working on a polymorphic dispatch, compile time or loading on times pretty much might theoretically come in handy. Yeah, I think that might. I even have this to-do comment in, where do I have it? Somewhere in actions, that I have to optimize the actions themselves, because yeah, there is a bit of close, sorry, and I have to use some sort of close accelerator, which will turns close method calls to just regular functions at compile time, so I don't have to do dispatch at runtime. That's basically the goal here. But again, I will be doing that later, perhaps next week or even further. I don't know, a bit of happening in my life, so yeah, I can't quite do this unfortunately. Yeah. Right, so I was making the track action. Yeah, so that's the action to first come to that item. So I have the entity as its entity, I think that is right. And I have as the parent we set this item pickup action. Then as the target. Okay, what do we set as the target? Oh yeah, we call this macro, and so that we have access to that field target. Right, and then we have distance as item pickup reach. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. Okay. So then we have the action themselves. Itself. Okay, perhaps this makes sense, and perhaps it does not. Right, I think I have... Oh, I somehow deleted the corresponding code. Have I really had that code in my item system? Right, let's see. So I had a handler for movement event. Oh, that's interesting. And that handler, I was checking the... Alright, so what I was doing here. So with coordinate of the player and with all of the items. Oh, I was going through all of the items, which is terrible actually. And then I was checking if there is a coordinate for that item, because if it does not, it means that it is already in player's inventory. So then I was checking the distance and then picking up the item. Ooh, that's terrible. That's truly terrible, and I have it commented here. Alright, so now what I'm doing now. So if the distance is close enough, I pick up an item, and yeah, so was I setting the angle? No, I wasn't. And then why do I have it here? Did I copy that from combat? Yeah, I think I have pretty much copied that from the combat. So, well, I will delete it for now, just in case. Right, and then the other branch, when the distance is, so when it is still very far, but then if in that branch, if we have, like here, if we have not valid child, which means that tracking failed for some reason, which means character wasn't been able to properly go to some position because of some reasons. Because, for instance, he stumbled upon some other moving target, moving character. So in that case, we want to stop an action. So okay, I think this one is debugging, close, that, yeah, that is. And here, yeah, I think I'm going to copy that and deal with it here. Right, so when not valid index of child, and then when we have, okay, so I don't have this check here, I don't need it here, because I'm not really switching a stance when picking up an item. Yeah, I don't. I do switch stance for an attack to a swinging stance, but I do not do that for items. Yes, because I don't have the separate animation for picking up an item, which would be nice actually, but I don't recall having that in neither of Diablo clones I was playing. So you don't have that in Diablo, and you don't have that in Path of Exile, you don't have that, I think, and you don't have that in Grim Dawn, so yeah, I'm pretty much sure that's some, well, extra steps. Okay, so I don't need this, and then stance finished, yeah, I don't really need these too. So that's only this left, I can replace that with unless. So unless we delete an action. Yeah, and I think I can replace cont with if here. So unless yeah, basically that's the same code actually, but yeah, and replace that with if. So if that distance is far enough and we failed tracking, we delete an action. In other case, we just pick it up. Alright, so that's the executor, as I call it, and I think I wanted to rename it with performer or something. Alright, now, so what do we have changed? yeah, nothing much really. We just removed that crappy handler and then added this one. Okay, cool. Right, and what okay, so let's go to pick up an item. Where it is? Okay, unhard code. Yeah, what I wanted to do here is perhaps to add some sound, like there was in Diablo, which is like short when you pick up an item. Yeah, perhaps I will add this as to the here. Yeah, but that's just the niceties, so to speak. Right, so something else. Yeah, right, so now I will have to change some stuff in player system. Yeah, okay, so let's go there. Oops, the wrong window. Right, so what is happening here? Some program load the actual crap. Has action screen, delete action, move. Alright, I think I can pretty much safely remove all that stuff and do that. Okay. Right, so now somewhere here, when user clicks on an item in the game world, I have to create that new and shiny pickup item. So, okay, let's see. Certain player character target. Right. Character under cursor. Right. And funnily enough, it drops with a sound. I think that's the wrong sound. Or it isn't. Okay, never mind. So when I actually click on that stuff, I want some helper function similar to that one, but I want just item under cursor. Yeah. And then I want to use it like here. Yeah. Yeah, somewhere here. Okay, fine, cool. So, I think I'm going to implement that helper here. Generator. Okay, let's have it perhaps, I don't know, somewhere here. Do I even need that crap? Oh yeah, I kinda do. Alright. So, I would need some function like this one. Item under cursor. With some coordinates, map x, map y. So I'm passing here x and y, which are the result of screen to orthogonal. So first viewport to absolute. Yeah, okay. And then screen to orthogonal. Yeah, so these are the map coordinates. Okay, cool. So what do I have here? So very same arguments. Right, so here I'm going to, I think, implement entity. Which entity? Oh, yeah, okay. Right. So, what I want to do here is to implement that to do, the first one. So I want to create some sort of sparse matrix akin to characters map in collision system, but for items. Yeah, so let's have a look at collision system. So here we have as the field of system some character map. Yeah, and then we feel that I think here in handler for character moved and collide speed, so that the accessory, yeah, so we basically feel it here in the handler for a movement event. Okay, that makes sense, sort of. So that was characters map, and we want items map. So let's have it here in a system. So yeah, instead of coupon, we want items map, which will be kind of the same like that one. Yep. Okay. Yeah, recklessly continue. Alright, item. So now we have items map. So what do we do with that? We want to, first of all, fill it. So how do I fill it here? In collision system. Purchase map. Yes, first matrix remove. Set F and then set F. Okay, so what do we do there? Okay, that's a bit weird. So what does it take as an argument? Sparse matrix and cons. Oh, okay. So how does that work? Scripts with hash. Oh, I put them in hash. Yeah, so that's how my sparse matrix works. It uses a hash table as its base. Okay. So what do I want to do there? The cons of the coordinates. Right. Wait. So I want to feel that in two different contexts. So the first one would be when some mob drops the item, and I think I got that covered by this function. But then I also want to fill this map with that item, like in cases like the one right here, right now in d2clone kit.lisp. So I just haven't that item initially created. And that would be the case for some, I don't know, quest items. Like for instance in Diablo there was that infus scroll or whatever, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. But still, it was laying just on the ground. Or no, wait a sec, it was dropping from a tree if you click on a tree. Okay, but anyway, I imagine there would be some sort of this situation. There would be just items laying on the ground, some kind of quest items or whatever, or just random drops. Yeah, that certainly could be the case, and I want those two. How do I do that? The drop item is not called for those, so perhaps I can have those in the constructor of a component, but then at the point of construction I might not have that coordinate component created. So wait, what is the order of components anyway? Okay, let's see. So this huge list, I mean not that huge, but it could be huge, it is passed to start engine, which passes that to main, and main does I think it puts it here in new game object specs, yeah, because those are new game object specs. And it is then passed here, so we go through the list and call make object with that spec. Okay, so what does make object do? It loops through the spec, and for each component it creates a component. Yeah, okay. So that, I think, means that first we create the item component and just then we create coordinate component. Ooh, that's a problem. I mean, it's not big of a problem, but it's still a little problem. So I either have to change my initialization order, or maybe I have to be slightly trickier about how I feel that item map in item system. So maybe I don't want to make it here, but then again, how it would get into that map. So let me think. So yeah, I certainly could go the way of enforcing some restrictions here and saying that this component kinda is dependent on the coordinate component, and so it should be created first. Or I can even do that automatically, kind of. I can sort them by some kind of priorities for the components. But that seems like an extra work and some extra complexity, I'd say. But still, let's look at the components. Now, even at coordinate system. So I reckon I had some sort of priority, and maybe I can reuse that here. Order, yeah, I had order. So it's, as my helpful docstring says, it specifies the order for system initialization. So I certainly can reuse that, I think, for the components. Okay, so let me just start the demo and then just look at the list of systems, just to see which orders I've set. So default order is 0, and let's see what are non-zero orders I've set. So that would be systems, I guess. Yeah, so that's my hash table of 18 systems, which is a bit much, but yeah. Let's see, so camera system has order of 0, and then character has order of 0, and then collision is order of 0, combat 1. Okay, so combat has an order of 1. Why, I wonder? But yeah, okay, let's check the other ones. So coordinate has 0, as I already seen. Credits has order of 2. Okay. Then debug has order of 10. Oh. And then... Alright, so let me just look. I think I've had systems in some sort of a list for the initialization purposes. Okay, let's look at the... yeah, systems. So I should have some sort of global variable here. Yeah, system initializers. It's like exactly this one. Right, so here are my orders, so I don't have to go through all of them. So I have 10 on debug system and sprite batch system, then 2 on credit system, 1 on menu, player and combat, and 0 on all of the others. And by the way, I think those orders are kinda on the reverse, so the higher the higher number means that it would be higher in the priority. Yeah, which kinda makes sense. Okay, so the thing is, I first create the bug system, then sprite batch, then credits. Oh, just as this list says. Okay, so let's look back at this list. So for instance, I have camera here, but yes, so a player, and then coordinate, blah blah blah, item. Player menu. And where do we got UI system? It's here. Again, that's kinda weird. Okay, so how do I actually initialize my systems? System initializers. Where do I use that? Okay, I call do list on that system initializers, and what am I doing here? Let system from call initializer and then setf, and then I have do list and then system, and then I call system initialize. Okay, now I see. I could have called that inside of that lambda. Yeah, I am weird. I'm totally weird. But yeah, okay. So anyway, so I'm creating those systems just in this order. So debug system first, sprite batch system second, and blah blah blah, anything else. Right. And I even wonder why do I have it is this way. So okay, let's quickly look at credit system. Yeah, I have order of 2. Oh, perhaps that's because I'm making an object here, an UI object. Config credits. Weird. That's kinda weird. UI system. Oh, yeah, okay. I still quite can't remember why I have order of 2 here, but it doesn't matter. So, what matters is, can I reuse that order for my purposes? So can I, like, have coordinate system have negative order so that it is always, I mean, created last and the components created last, and then in my here, when create an object, I can sort those components by priority, by that order, and create in corresponding order. So would that make sense? Make object here. Oh, so I would have to first sort this list, which is not good both performance and memory usage wise. Yeah, so I don't really want to go there, I guess. Or can I just go over all systems? No, complicating this function seems kinda insane, because I mean this function would be called pretty often, I figure. Yeah. System. Yeah. Yes, so I can only, well, what I only can do here is to kinda enforce that in documentation, or to be smarter when filling the items map. So okay, perhaps I want to go the latter way. So how can I be smarter about that items? Oops. So I want some place in code which is called yeah, the thing is that here this item is created and then nothing happens with it, it just keeps existing. So it will be quite hard to find a place in the code except the actual component constructor in which I would kind of catch this component and do some stuff with it, namely put it in the items map. Yeah, that's a bummer. So I can rely on the order here. So I can kind of mention somehow in documentation that you should put that here first. But again, nobody ever reads documentation, so that's not a very good approach. Yeah, I'm kinda stuck at choosing my option here. Perhaps I can still go to those, no, not systems, components. No, not components. Where is make object defined? Okay. Okay, so where is my, alright, that's not very good. Yeah, in systems, weird. Systems. Yeah, this spec here. System name. Yeah, okay, perhaps I could kinda rewrite that loop so that it goes over all systems in the respected order and then just checks if there is some component here in this spec. So would that make sense? Component from system. And to get an order I would have to, okay, so I would have to call sort of system order, right? Yeah, right. And how is that defined? Oh, yeah, that's very helpful, thank you. Oh, so that's plain structure. Okay, that's a relief, at least. Alright, so where was I? I was in systems, actually. Here. Yeah. So I can go over all of these systems, but nah. What I also can do is to extract all of the cars from the spec, which would be system names, and then sort them by priority and then go over them. So yeah, in terms of performance, this might be a bit wonky. But hey, I reckon reading about SBCL garbage collector, and if I recall correctly, like allocating a memory is just basically a pointer shift, which is, I mean, which costs literally nothing. And then, well, then again, if you have a lot of those allocations, then garbage collector would wake up and do its greasy job. Yeah, so, well, what I was describing, it will stress out garbage collector a bit more. in those make objects. But where am I calling make object anyway? Sorry. Okay, so I am calling that in some systems constructor to create the debug entities. I am calling it map system for some reason. Oh yeah, to create the sprite batch for a map, which is again I think on the load time, yeah, when I'm loading the map. And then create the debug entity again, and here in the constructor of a credits system to create the UI, and then in menu systems for the very same reason. Then in sprite system to create a sprite batch, but then again on the loading time. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I basically call that when creating a new game. Well, obviously. And then I am calling that here in item system when dropping an item. Yeah. So I think the only place not at the loading time where I call this function is here in item system when I drop the item. Okay. Yeah, and here I even have it in the correct order. So I have the coordinate first and item second. Right. So where would be the places where I also call this make object except the loading time? So that would be when I want to create some complex game object, right? With some different components. Where would that be except the map loading or dungeon loading or whatever? So create a new object. Well, I guess I would not call that function like in game very often, because I mean creating a new object is a bit of a great deal, a big deal, yeah. A new object. Alright. A new object. Yeah, so basically I have all of the objects I need created at the loading time, and I quite rarely create new ones, with the only exception of creating a new item, which again would not be that often. So okay, I think I can go with the sorting approach in that create object. Right, so I think I will comment that code. So how do I even approach that? Sort, yeah, I guess I can call some inline sorting function. Can I? Sort. Sequence predicate returns a sorted sequence. Is it kind of a same sequence? Okay, that's awkward again, because it again shows that I'm not knowing Common Lisp very much. So I would have to read that through. So sort times level sort destructively sort. Okay, that's good. So it destructively sorts. It means that I would not have extra memory for that. So destructively sorts sequences according to the order determined by the predicate. If sequence is a vector, the result is a vector, blah 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 blah. If sequence is a list, which is my case, the result is a list. Okay, cool. Sort determines the relationship, blah blah blah, given a check, blah 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 blah. The first argument to the predicate is a part of the element of sequence extracted by the key function. That's also convenient. The second argument, blah 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 blah, another element of sequence extracted by the key function is applied. Predicate should return true if and only if the first argument is strictly less than the second. And the first argument is greater than or equal to the second. Okay, so the thing is, I would not be able to get the system order quite easily there. And I just thought it would be nice to kind of throw a warning at the user if the sorting by the order in that function would kind of change the order, the initial order of, well, supply spec. So the user would be kind of forced to tweak. But then again, this function is destructive, so I can't really know if the list was changed or not, I guess. Okay, so what do I have here? Sequence, predicate, and key as the keyword. Right. So I will just make this sort form first. So the sequence will be the spec, and then the predicate. Some predicate. I will just put an empty lambda here. So again, what that predicate would get as the argument. First argument of the predicate function is the part of the element of sequence extracted by the key function. The second is the part of another element of sequence extracted by the key function. It's true if the first argument is strictly less than the second. Right. A and B. And just return something. And then as the key, I want, I think, car. Should I supply the function as the key? Key designator for a function, yeah, for one argument or nil. Car, yeah. So the cars would be systems, but that would be the keywords, not the systems themselves. So I can do the trick in two different ways. First, I can go through those system initializers, global variable. I can search for the, oh no, I can't. Okay, so how do I get a system knowing the keyword it is related to, I mean, its name, basically. So I think I have some sort of hash table. Oh yeah, I do, the systems. Oops, no. Systems. God damn it. Oh yeah, an empty hash table. Why? Yeah, okay, because I've killed the game. Right, so it is the hash table, so I think I have some helper to get the system instance. What the heck? I reckon I had one. So let's see. Systems. Oh yeah, get hash, make keyword, systems. Yeah, that's where I put them there. But why do I even use that hash table? Oh yeah, I'm using that in macro with systems. But I don't seem to have the helper to get the system instance. Okay, so I will just go with get hash. Right, so what I have here as A and B is the keywords for systems. Oh yeah, and if I'm sorting it, I can have an error if there is some wrong function. Yeah, so I guess I can throw it on lambda, but then again it would complicate things crap. So I think what I would have to do is just to believe user input here and, well, to kinda go along with what was supplied. I just thought, can I make in Common Lisp some expression which is evaluated only when the optimization level for safety is big enough? Because it would make total sense. Okay, so I think I would have to Google for that, which is again awkward. Right, so what I want is Common Lisp safety, I don't know, safety, let's just Google for that first. Performance tuning, optimize, the official doc is always good. You don't get the safety string, yeah, whatever. I will just use my speed, I'm not interested in that. Like kinda I want to get current safety level or whatever. Okay, so let's look at those things. Speed and safety, yeah, I know the effects of those things. How do I check the current level? Function types, yeah, not what I'm expecting. So optimize. Blah blah blah. Advises the compiler which quality should be in well, which quality is a symbol. Yeah. You can see this in the font if the quality appears more than once. Okay. Proclaim creation scope. Never applies to available function binary. Automatic version free declaration. Right. Annotations resulting in console behavior. Right, get unlocking the directory. No, that's not what I want here. Here's some random optimization settings. Yeah, so that's for Allegro, but anyway, I mean for Allegro Common Lisp. Optimization settings. Oh yeah, I reckon it prints current optimization settings, but explain compiler settings. So does SBCL have it? I think not. Yeah, but a Lisp, which is Allegro Common Lisp, I guess does. Yep. So that's a bunch of stuff here, but that's again compiler specific. I can't rely on that. So let's look at Stack Overflow. That without compiler execution time, performance, safe parsing. Put out the value of CPU register, squeeze more speed, check if variable lists. How can I turn list down? You got it so mundane and boring. How to force that's like we shift. Compile system is different. Yeah. How to read numbers, use the transform, optimizations, utilize semaphore, optimization options. Recursion, relative performance, develop relative confinement to more than functions. I guess I'm not getting it from Overflow, but let's look anyway. suppose I have LSDF system, another system, the only difference that blah 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 blah. I want to compile with declare blah 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 and blah blah blah. How do I do that? How can I reuse the definition? Blah 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 blah. Organization levels. You can try run compile. Yeah, that's the basic strategy for that. Nations performance blah blah blah. Token user package. Organization will be safe. I recommend the whole system is safe. Yeah. Local safety. Oh. Make optimization settings changeable. This does not work because safety level needs to be numbers. But this works using a read time evaluation. Safety. Sharp sign dot safety. One can also insert whole declarations. Optimization declaration. That could be the solution. Oh yeah, that's Rainer Joswick, he knows his stuff. So yeah, that's interesting idea. Let's look at this thing. I guess that's unusable, but anyway. Auto set 3 for all functions. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's nice approach. I think I will probably do that a little later, but I will definitely leave it to do here. So that would be runtime checking, but it will only happen in some specific safety levels. Yeah. Alright. So, make safety level changeable. Just put here. And when it is enough, check that every system exists. It's an interesting trick. I wonder, I will just test it right now and I will see if that works. So obviously it would work only on compilation time, so I would have to set this parameter somehow before compiling, but yeah, that makes sense. Right, so let's define the parameter, then just have some function, and that optimization oh, sorry. So this works, yeah, okay. The whole declarations. Oh, yeah, that's quite too far. So, yeah, right. So then, yeah, so if I'm using that at the compile time, that kinda, yeah, that would work. I mean, I would test that, but I guess it will work. So let's look at disassembly. 42 bytes, generic plus, whatever. But then if we set this parameter to 3 and then recompile the function, and I will emulate that by defining it again, I think we will get different disassembly. Yeah, it's slightly different, 44 bytes. So this kinda works. Then sign off, check that every system exists. Every system, like, yeah, okay, every system exists anyway. So yeah, I think I will probably make that change for a safety, but later. So right now I want to just go along with that. So I want to sort spec. Right, so I have two systems. Wait a second. System, what am I using here? Oh yeah, I'm going to fly. Yeah, and I probably should have those first. Yeah, I'm thinking that to omit calling this get hash twice, I mean in that sorting and then later in creating a component, perhaps I should somehow cache or even replace, maybe, yeah, wait a sec. So before sorting, oh no, so before, goddammit, what is happening with my fingers? So before sorting, I want to create a new list in which every first, every car of those lists would be replaced with the system instances, and then maybe even, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, okay, so maybe I can even have some sort of hash table. Would that make sense? No, I guess that would not. Yeah, what I really want here is maybe an A list. Or should I just go with the regular one? No, I think I can make an A list. So, right, I want to go over all of the entities, all of the items in spec, and I want to replace, no, I don't want to replace, I want to create a new one. Okay, so do list wouldn't do, I would need mapcar. Mapcar with some lambda, which gets the component, and for that component so it would return, let's say, an A list here, or do I really need an A list? Okay, I think what I need is some sugar boost. Sorry. Right, so do I need an A list? Whatever the car would work anyway, right? So wait a sec. So if I have some list like that, so the car would work, and then the cutter would just return the end of that list. And if I have some sort of A list like this, oh, more than one, yeah, right, I guess it would be easier to use. Okay, anyway, so it would be easier to use proper list. Yeah, it would be totally easier to just a proper list. So the first component for that list would be the actual system. So I would have to get hash the car component of our systems. Oh, and by the way, also here I can have my safety check. Right. Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense. So I will make this system first. first. I mean, not make it, but get it from the hash. Then do this command, yeah, so I can possibly want that check only when safety level is high enough. And then just copy that. Research system component, yeah, right. And then, oh yeah, that's only when no system exists. So, unless, maybe I can use a flat here. Yeah, I can. So if that exists, we do the stuff, and in other case we throw an error. And yeah, here's our lambda. So what we will return from that lambda is that system and then coder, I mean the rest components, the rest parameters for the component. Yeah, cool. So that's my thing, and yeah, I use the spec for mapcar. Okay, cool. So that's my kind of spec with the systems. So so that's not a spec already. It's, how do I call that? Jeez, I'm so bad with naming things. So that would be the spec, but well, we've replaced, how do I call it? I don't know, let's call it maybe components. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Or subsystems, sub-components. Well, just the components would be enough, I guess. Components. No, that went awkward. And well, I mean, the nil check is kinda not that long, so I can probably keep it even for other safety levels. Yeah, I guess I kind of can. But anyway, that idea of having changeable optimization levels is kind of a neat idea. Yeah, perhaps I want to put it to do later list, like here. Why do I even have it here anyway? Right, where was I? So I now have those components. And what I can do with those is sort those components. Goddammit, components. Why it is not the style guide? Error text, and how, I mean, I was doing it all of the time. How should I call it? Datum. So I mean, everything would go as the datum. Okay, so let me check out the Google style guide. Error type and args, but where the description would go? Oh, they don't even, what the heck? That's weird. And arguments, oh, okay. I mean, I've been doing Yeah, see, like even in CLHS they have the string as first argument. So, well. Oh yeah, and now they have it like this. Okay. Oh, they even have defined condition. Yeah, I mean my condition handling is right now in this engine is in very basic level. I don't even have any usable restarts, and I've been having that introduced for a very long time. Searches and conditions. Let's see. Proper usage. Yeah, okay, perhaps I would make it right now, as I should have. But yeah, I would have to go over where that must be before. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, and I guess I'm using it like that, like every time. So yeah, I would go over that. Yeah. So okay, I would go with string right now, but then I would leave a comment, a to-do comment, to fix that later. So yeah, thanks. I think I would even put that in my the bug tracker. Yeah, thanks for noting. I was not very aware. Year should always be called with an explicit condition type. It should never simply be called with a string. This enables internationalization. Oh yeah, that makes total sense. Right, so I would have to go over all of my code and, well, replace those. I mean, to create a new condition types and then replace those year calls. Where's yeah, right. So where is it? Let's put it in deploy. I'm putting all of the stuff here. Yeah, I failed the code review. You're right. So where are they? Somewhere here, closer to the beginning. Do changes. Yeah, and I have the line do changes according to Google style guide. So yeah, perhaps I would have come to that at some point. Right, where was I? So now I want to sort that stuff. So as the A and B, I have an actual system, so I can call system order, and then I should return if they are less, I recall. Wait a sec. Predicate. I'm reading this paragraph like for the fourth time this evening. Should return true if and only if the first argument is strictly less than the second. First is less than the second. Okay. Right, so I sort those components by the order of the systems, which also means that I already have to set the proper order for the coordinates. Yeah. So let's go to the coordinate system and change the order here. Or perhaps I could just go with the item system and make its order slightly more. I mean, slightly greater was the word here. Oh, and I have item system here 3 times. What the heck? I mean, seriously, what is happening here? So let's set it to no first. And then, oh yeah, I think that's because I was recompiling the system definition. So if I start it again, oh, that's nice. Okay, understandable. Have a nice day. Yeah. Oh yeah, right. Now I have some crap in the in systems.lisp. Yeah, I haven't finished. God damn it. Oh yeah, I haven't even uploaded that yet. Okay, are we done yet? Nope, still not. Come on. Yeah, so my Emacs is behaving again. Right, so let's look at those system initializers list. Come on, just do it. Right, so let's look at system initializers. Yeah, so now we have item system only once. Right, so I think I can make its order slightly greater. Or yeah, I think I would go with the negative order for a coordinate system. So yeah, that probably would make sense. Where do I put in order? So let's look in the block. Yeah, just missing here order like -5. Yeah. Oh yeah, and now it has the proper order here. Okay, so I think I'm finally done here with the orders and stuff. Oh yeah, and I have to actually finish that function make object. So I've sorted the components, and now I can just, yeah, and by the way, I've checked that all of the systems mentioned in the spec exist. So I can just loop over and just do the thing, I guess. So I can, yeah, I will just copy that loop here. So yeah, we also need an entity for the component in components. For system, yeah, it would be just car component. Oops. So then, I think I can even destructure that nicely. So system, oh yeah, I think I can't do that. Can I? Okay, let's test it. So loop for S and P equals so wait, what is past there? Yeah, so okay, so for item in list, in some list, and then for S and P equals I, we just do and print. Okay, why should I put that here? So we just print, no, format A and B. Oh no, oh, god damn it. So also A. Okay, S and T. So now in that list there would be some things like, I don't know, something like that. Oh yeah, I can't destructure it like I want to. So it just gets the first and the second element, and I want first and the rest the other. That's a shame. So yeah, let's go just with car and other. System of parameters, so we don't need that check here. And we just do apply blah, blah, and then finally return an entity. Yeah, that's it. So components, then we sort by the system order. Yeah, I will just print, just to be sure, I will print that components here. Oh, what? What is happening here? I mean, that's a lot of diagnostics. Not stack allocate test. What is the what's not stack allocate key? Could not stack allocate predicate one. Not stack allocate thing and then key. Okay, that's weird. SBCL is weirding me out. Okay, so let's see. I think right now, oh no, when I press the new game button, I will see all of those sorted things printed. No, wait, what? Not, oh yeah, this function is called first at some system's initialization. So what is wrong here? I'm calling make object. I mean, we have the call to make object. And then we have the method make component for a sprite batch with some parameters. Map. Oh, wait a sec, I think parameters might be wrong. Yeah, odd number of elements in keyword across the list. Yeah, I think parameters, color component, list. Yeah, I think I know what's the problem here. I don't have the list here. I have to do what? I think I have to append. Okay, so just give me a sec. If I do like one and like other list, so that's what I'm getting, and I want just the plain list. So how can I do that? Can I just do cons? Yeah, I can just do cons. That's awesome. That's just awesome. System color components. Yeah, okay. Some weird warnings again. So let's try again then. Okay, here we go. So we create sprite batch system, and then yeah, some components for sprite batch system, then UI system, and then debug system. That's all kind of not very interesting. What was that? Okay, but then if I press new game, yay, a whole bunch of new objects. Oh, I think I have sorted the other way around. So I have coordinate first and camera second. I want just the reverse. So like, where is my item? Yeah, here it is. So again, I have... Oh no, that's totally right. I have to create the coordinate first and then the item second, so that in the constructor for the item component, I can do that magic to put it in some global map. That's the idea, at least. So yeah, I think that's it. That's how I do that. Systems, parent system, character system, 33 man acquire comment. Right. Okay. The stable sort keeps the where and then combat. Yeah, I think that's not very important here. So yeah, I got the basics at least. Right, so I don't need that anymore. Yeah, and I don't need print, but why those warnings though? How it is happening? What is the test one? I don't even... Okay, perhaps I should put some optimization here and see what is happening. So let's let's be 33, yeah, and safety 0 and debug 0, compilation time, speed, yes, sorry, speed 0, and then something else, the size, yes, 0. Oh, compilation failed. Why though? Oh, I guess size is the wrong one. Yeah, size. What was the... Okay, so let me just... Space. It was space. Alright. Okay, 4 nodes again, so I can just clean it and compile again. Right. So test could not stack allocate. Test, how do you stack allocate a function? Okay, so let's just look at disassembly. Maybe it's not that bad. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. 2 segments. So I guess one of these segments is related to that lambda, I guess, which calculates the components. Now jump L3, so we instantly go to label 3, and that label does do make entity. Make end. Oh yeah, that's the start of the loop, right. So yeah, the first segment is that lambda. So it does get hash and blah 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 systems. Not very nice, but anyway. So then we must call an error at some place. But anyway, so label 3 is our loop. Wait, and where is sort then? I guess it jumps. No, that's weird. That is kind of weird. So let's look further. We have my component call here. That's from the loop. Sierra trap. No such system yet. That's the segment with the error, and then segment 2 of 2 will require a stable sort list. Oh. And I guess that's that lambda maybe. So what do I have here? We have quite a bunch of mobs. For some reason I can't quite understand why they're there. So weird, that's weird. And then, yeah, at the very beginning we check some stuff. And then we jump at other labels, 20 and 24, okay. Call L34. Oh, I guess that's the sort inlined here. Then call L20, L34, sorry. So it's kind of weird, it calls this label a lot. So what is that? L44? Oh, pop, we want pop here, and then that's just the end. I mean, that's weird. That's really weird. Yeah, that's totally weird. What if I use stable sort? I guess the result would be the very same. Yeah, it is. So, right. Could not stack allocate the Google test. Let's just search for an error message. Maybe that would do the trick. Yeah, now the Google is giving me shit. So how do I the exact match? Could not stack allocate. Yeah, and that's the bug from the year 2018. Let's look at that. This bug is problematic, so this is all destructive invitation of object and equal type. This is all object and blah 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 blah. The warning at the end with more called being called with character with both anyway. Okay, so this function, system order, it is the accessor, and by the way, an inline accessor for a structure field. So SBCL should be able to derive its type, right? So, okay, let's look at the size of this assembly. Where the heck is that? Oh, yeah, okay. Right, so it has, let's look at the size, 1791 bytes, which is a lot. Okay, let's look at the initial version, at this implementation, which wasn't doing any sorting. And it compiles without warnings, of course, and it has like only 300 bytes, which is very cool. Alright. So, what if I remove sorting here? No warnings again, and a bit more, yeah, 500 bytes. So that's because we went through the objects first, right? I mean, we went through the specs of components and, well, replaced the first elements with the system. But then it's the kind of very same loop. I have some allocation here because of cons, and then the other one for Makar, I guess. So yeah, it is slightly more full code, but I guess it's still fine. 500 bytes. Right, but when I'm trying to sort it, then this crap is happening. So it is not able to stack allocate test. Again, how do you even stack allocate a lambda? Right, so let's have some declarations here. So we declare that type of those A and B is system. Is that? Yeah, it is a type. So, alright, let's try that. So still 4 nodes, and the size of the disassembly is even more. I mean, wow. How do you even make it even worse? Weird. Let's go. So what if I remove that? Still 4 nodes. And huh. That's totally weird. I'm even interested. What is the freaking difference? So let me just, I don't know. Can I use it from my edif here? Yeah, I will try to stick with the Emacs. So let's open some buffer first. Like the first one will be large, which will be this large disassembly, which is with the extra declarations. And then I will open some small. Sorry. So that one would be this second disassembly without the type declarations here. Okay, so let's just do edif. So file A would be small and B would be large. So okay, so the addresses are different, crap sakes. So I think I should replace, yeah, yes, quit the session. Right, so I will do something like that. Yeah. Wait a sec. Yeah, and I will have to remove the origin line, I guess. Oops. Right. And then where was this? Yeah. And then small. So let's do the same here. Yeah, right. Where was that? 2 of 2, yeah. Okay, so let's edif now. So if small, if large. Alright, that's better. So what's the difference here? We have different address for systems. No, wait, why those lines are... Okay, I have to type question mark for a help here. So previous diff N and P and okay. Thank you. How? No, I don't want to clear the session. I want to close this window. Oh, right. God damn it. Oh, no. Okay. Let's just go with that. Right. So the next... Wait, what? How? Why? I don't think it is working. Oh god. So fishes show there. Oh yeah, hop off. That's intuitive, yeah. Okay, so N. No, that's the search and okay. So I think there should be some comment like if next difference. Right. This comment runs in edit. Oh yeah, okay. This comment runs in this buffer, which totally makes sense. Right, so obviously this size is different, and then why those lines are showing different? I mean, they look kind of the same. Anyway. Right, so now nil. Again, this looks similar. What's the actual difference here? BE1701 11 050. I mean they are the same. Move ESI, this address, which is the same. Weird, totally weird. Right. So this probably is not much of a help, but still. So why it is several bytes more? I mean the larger one. So it is still a bit the same, despite of all those supposed differences. Okay, slightly different. No, the address is the same. Weird, that's weird. So now that thing with origin, which is again the same. Some calls, some jumps. Yeah, here's the difference. So in large variant, we also move to R12, some value here before, and then it is just the same sequence but not very same. Oh yeah, so instead of using RBX we are using R12 here. Okay, then we have this move and then RCX R12. Yeah, that's certainly different. That's just one extra move here for some reason. And now here one extra move. RSI and then RCX, RDX, sorry. And then here one just extra move just out of the blue. Why would it do that? And then extra NOP, which is totally weird. What was that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so just some extra moves and then extra NOP, which is weird. Okay, that makes no sense at all. Okay, so how do I quit? Okay. Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that system order is inlined, but that's unlikely. So let's maybe have type definition here. Let's have it in that the fix num, and here the fix num. Still the warnings, so let's have a look at the assembly. Okay, so now it is, I think, the same 1791, and if I remove that, 1791, and like this, that is 1791, yeah, exactly, so it changes nothing. Right. I can even replace, okay, I can make a tricky thing here. I can replace a key function with slightly more complex function, and I can make the comparison function really simple. It will be just less, but then the key would be that lambda, I don't know, s, that returns, first of all, it takes car of s, yeah, that's not totally s, let's call it c, takes car and then calls system order. Alright, that's even shorter. Okay, so what is wrong here? Undefined variable component sort, oh yeah, components. Okay, now it is 5 nodes. That's just ridiculous. So now we again could not stack allocate test, which is now freaking less fun. Oh yeah, I think I should have some specialized function for the fixed nums, because I know beforehand that they are fixed nums. Do we have some sort of fixed num less? Like, yeah, weird. Right, so for that, I guess I would need to make a lambda. Wait a second, what is that? Right, so the lambda. So we declare the type fixed num of a and b, and then we return less a and b. Right, now it is in 6 nodes. So what the heck is wrong? Not stack allocate, not stack allocate key, not stack allocate predicate fun. Okay, so what is with the size of this assembly? Wow, 678 bytes. That's interesting. How it did get that little? Make component. Lambda C. Okay, so here's that lambda C, which looks like that key function. So it takes car and then takes system order, and basically it just does two moves, which is cool. And then where is the actual sorting here? Components. Get hash. So it should be somewhere here. Okay, so where is that label? Origin 722. Right. Right, that's weird. Call L13. I think this segments stuff is masking something important. Okay, what will happen if I remove that declarations? So right now I have 6, 7, 8, which is fun. So let's do that and see at the whoa, yeah, I guess it would be much more. No, the same 6, 7, 8 bytes, but then now I have a bunch of warnings that it can't optimize that stuff. Right. Okay, this stuff with sort is weird. I mean, what would happen with those warnings if I would just take those components and then sort it with some dumb function like this, and even without any key function? Yeah, still some problems here. Generic less. Right. Yeah, I guess at that point SBCL might really know the types. Okay, what would happen if I just type like the full function and would just go with less car, no, I mean system order car A, and then just the same here. Okay, still 4 nodes and still could not stack allocate predicate. Okay, let's have a look at this assembly. Now it is that large one. So that's the recar in stable sort list. Right. 1751 bytes. Right. Okay, I guess I would have to optimize that later. So right now I will do all of that stuff. So wait a sec, was it the new stuff or the old stuff? Because I haven't been making the commits a long time, as you can see. Subsystems. Yes, so it was the old stuff. Okay, so I can safely remove it here and then have this sort. I guess I will leave which one? Maybe that one. 6 nodes, what the heck? What? Predicate function, and then key, and then test, predicate. Wait, what was the predicate function here? Oh yeah, and test. Okay, what was the test then? Weird. Okay, so it all means that I can actually get back to my items finally. So I will just compile it one last time. Right, items. So now, yeah, I can have my items map. So now I can do that. I can insert the new item right here in make component. Make item. Okay, what is make item? Oh, okay. Component sprite system. Yeah, right. And then okay, so I guess I would have to call has component p, and I reckon it should return generalized boolean, which is just the component itself. Percent component p index p. Oh no, that's just the true or false. I mean on nil. Index p. Yeah, that's of course returns true. Component p. So wait a sec. That's component p, components index. It's very rough. Oh yeah, that's the index anyway. So that's just one lookup, and then so except this lookup for a system, we have only one lookup. This one, sparse array index rough. Right. Okay. So no big performance penalty here. So if has component p of coordinate for that entity, so when that, then with coordinate we add that thing to an items map. So let's see. So it's just like in the collision system. In the collision system we do this. Entity. Yeah, just the entity itself anyway. So I want to set up. So wait a sec. That method. So that's method for a system. systems, so I also want to use print here. What is wrong with my annotation? I want to use with item system, I guess. Hold a sec. Okay, what was the macro for the systems here? With system, yeah, wait a sec. With system slots macro. Instance, no, okay. So there was the generic macro. So with system slots, geez, how I even use that? With system slots map, yeah, okay. So I want here the items map. And wait a sec, I guess. Oh, crap. Yeah, okay. Yes, so now I have two parentheses here, and then the system, slots, system type, and then system instance. So system instance being what? Being system, and then read only. What does read only do? Read-only let and then else symbol macro let. I guess I want symbol macro let actually, or do I? So if I call, yeah, I guess I can go with read-only because I'm just getting this thing which is sparse matrix, and I can modify it all the way I want. So read only, sure. So that's my with system slots call. Oh yeah, it's read only by default, I guess. Yeah, it is. So I can just remove that. Yeah, cool. Now with coordinate, I set up sparse matrix ref of that item map. The cons of x and y, which would get here from with coordinate, yeah. So I need to specify the entity, which would be this entity, and the bindings. Well, let's say item x and item y, or yeah, whatever, just x and y. So cons x and y, and we set the actual thing to put here in that map is the entity itself. Entity. So I can just wait a sec, the extra parenthesis here. Yeah, so we set up that to entity. Alright, and that's it for this when. Right. Okay. Nope, what's wrong? Here we'll pass an argument with system slots that are odd number of columns in keyword value list system. How? So I have the list of the actual symbols I want to get, the actual slots, then the name of this. Oh yeah, the system instance is not the keyword argument. Okay, cool. So yeah, that was awkward. Right, so let's now just try and start the game and finally see if I haven't made the first step today, if I have that map, the item map right there. So when I press new game, the item, the health potion item is created. And I should be able to have that right now in my item systems slot items map. So I would go with item system. Yeah, and from that I want a slot called items map. Yeah. Wait, would it be the name of the... Yeah, I guess. Could be. Oh, no. Continue. No, I want to live supper. Continue. Cool. Items map. Oh yeah, I want system item. So kinda item system items map. That's awkward. So I reckon I had the same awkwardness in my collision system. Collision. Yeah, I had the word collision here, and now I have the map, so perhaps I should rename it to just map here. And also where I just was make component here. Yeah, just map here and here. Right. But anyway, let's look at this. So I have a sparse matrix, and it has the size. It has the size of 1, and its only element is index 21, which should be the index of this health potion item. So how do I check that? Kinda, I'll probably call has component p item 21. Yeah, true. That's my health potion there in that map. Cool. So now I can continue. So I guess that's done. And I can continue with integrating that with player system and just having all of those niceties. So yeah, I guess that's all for today. So thank you very much for watching, and get back next Saturday if you want more. So yeah, thanks, take care, and goodbye.